In this video, we will discuss how can an average student also qualify CSIR NET exam. Now, before I begin talking about this topic, let me tell you this misconception about being an average student. Let us ask a question: who is an average student? The biggest problem of today is students start jumping to conclusion and start self-doubting themselves even before they pass themselves through the right parameters, the right metrics. And that is where the problem begins. That is where this misconception begins, and you start seeing yourself as an average student. If you see gaining marks is a parameter of being a successful and a bright student, then I think 99% of students are average student, like you and me, right? So that is where the problem is. Yes, you'll think that way because in today's world, as long as good marks are there in college, you are considered a brilliant student. Now that is the misconception. This is the biggest dilemma, the biggest problem of modern world. You see, you are not an average student. Unless gaining knowledge is not your goal. If your goal is to gain knowledge, then you are not an average student. Okay? Now, I'm sure most of you are here to gain knowledge. And I wish to strengthen your belief today that as long as you are here to gain knowledge, as long as you are a knowledge seeker, you cannot be an average student. Okay? Now, let me come to the topic of the day, and that is, can an average student also qualify CSIR NET exam? And if yes, how? Right? So I'm going to answer those questions. But before I start, let me remodel this question. Right? So as I said, you are not an average student, but yes, you are a knowledge seeker. So let us ask this question: can a knowledge seeker student qualify CSIR NET exam? Now the answer is obviously yes. 200% yes. A knowledge seeker student can definitely qualify CSIR NET exam. Now the question is how? If seeking knowledge is your passion, if you enjoy your subject, then definitely you are going to qualify. But you will say, sir, I have been a knowledge seeker throughout my life. I have been studying throughout my life just to seek knowledge, to learn for the last 14-15 years now. But still I am failing in this exam. So what should I do? And that is the reason at Biotecnika we thought we'll compile this video. So you see, there are multiple answers to any question, but you have to ask the right questions. And I'm glad that today you're asking the right question. So let me give you 10 points which can transform an average, or rather I should say, a knowledge seeker student into a successful qualifier of CSIR NET. That is you. So let us get started. Let us start. So take a pen and paper and start noting it down. Number 1, planning. Now, everyone tells you to plan well. No, I'm not going to say that. Instead, I'm going to say that how to plan is something which you should know. Now, the problem is planning is a very, very personal thing. No one else can plan the work for you. You have to do it. But I will give you some pointers, some thoughts which will invoke in your mind that, okay, how can I plan better this time or next time? Right? So let us start. Now, always plan your day first thing in the morning. As soon as you wake up, plan your day. Make a list of chapters and topics you want to study, and then prioritize your list. Now, this way you will always know where to get started as soon as you sit for studying. Now, then you can decide which parts of the day you're going to study. Okay? Chalk out a daily schedule and find out the chunks where you can study, and then stick to that time slot. Similarly, you can design your monthly schedule, half-yearly schedule. But remember, no one can stick to their plan 100%. So don't get irritated if you could not stick to it. Even I cannot stick to my plan 100%. You have to be agile, you have to be flexible, but never ever give up on planning. That's the secret. Point number 2, habits. Now, like in my earlier videos, I've always said habits are atomic in nature, but they have a long-lasting effect on your life and your career. Habits are tiny bits of automatic actions which you take every day without thinking, but still it has a huge impact on your life. For example, waking up early in the morning, some people have that habit. Some people have, of course, everybody has a habit of brushing the teeth, right? Similarly, if you incorporate habit which supports your daily plan, then you will be in a better position to implement the plan, right? So for example, you want to study in the morning hours, then obviously you need to make a habit first to wake up early in the morning. Now you get the secret? All right. Now let's move on to the third point, which is mentor. Now, picture this. If Sachin Tendulkar had no mentor, do you think he would have become what he is today? Every player needs a coach. Now, there are numerous articles on internet where people say, hey, just buy this book, do self-study, you will qualify CSIR net. That's the worst statement anybody makes. But it is like saying Sachin Tendulkar would have become a great player without his cricket coach. Do you think it was possible? Think about it. You may be genetically superior than others when it comes to studying, but without guidance, you are just like a rudderless ship, which will end up in the wrong direction. So stop relying on only self-study. Yes, do self-study, but go first find a mentor. Now, number 4, clarity of thoughts. This is very important for a student. Dilemma is your biggest enemy. If you are not clear in your vision, in your mission, you can never plan. You can never create good habits which complement your plan. So whenever you are in a dilemma situation, take help of your mentors. If your mentor is not available, then take a piece of paper. Write the pros and cons of your decisions you are about to make. And that way, you will be in a better position to take the first step. Point number 5, understanding the difference between temporary defeats and permanent failures. Now, this is again a very important thumb rule. When it comes to exam preparation, suppose you are reading Kelvin Cycle, okay? And you find it difficult to understand. So what do? You close the book, go away. Now, this is temporary defeat. But if you quit preparing altogether, you never come back to study it just because you could not understand that topic, that is permanent failure. You have to bounce back from temporary defeats faster than ever. And you have to know that as long as you're trying, you have not been defeated. Number 6, play by the rule of the exam. Now, anyone can tell you exam rules. Now, what is that? Negative marking, right? Everybody will tell you negative marking is the exam rule. Wrong. That is just the first rule of the game. The second rule is identifying those questions and deciding which question to answer. So, identify easy questions and answer them first. The third rule is keep a balance in between the time spent per question and total time left. The fourth rule is recalling faster and skipping questions where you are unable to recall. Don't spend much time on that. Nobody is going to give you a Nobel Prize because you attempted the toughest question. The fifth rule is ensuring that you have enough time to revise your answers. Okay, so towards the end, you should have last 15, 20 or 30 minutes to revise, right? Now, moving ahead, number 7, stop self-doubting. Now, as soon as I told you these 5 rules, you will start self-doubting. Oh my God. You will start feeling you are not good enough, not equipped enough to take up this exam. But that is where you need to learn the magic. Your effort in preparation is not going to kill your success in this exam. Definitely, it will complement it. But your self-doubt on your own self-doubt leads to lack of confidence and nervousness. And what happens when a nervous driver is driving? Accidents. So stop self-doubting and surround yourself with good books and good mentor. Books which will support your confidence level. Number 8, exam is like an Olympics game. So you need to learn how the players prepare themselves for Olympics. Now let me give you a small glimpse of how an Olympic player prepares. So Olympic players take help of a coach, invest their time and energy every day in practicing, and they are ready to practice even if it's 2 a.m. in the morning. They follow every instruction from their coach to the minutest detail. If their coach says stand, they'll stand. If the coach says sit, they sit. They focus on what they have to do today instead of worrying what and which team won last time. Similarly, you also need to implement these strategies in your life to be successful in this exam and forever. Number 9, improve and optimize your strategies 1% per day. Now, like I gave you an example of Olympics earlier, the players believe in improving their performance by 1% per day. And that leads to 37 times better performance after a year. Similarly, you need to improve your preparation strategy 1% a day. Optimize your plan 1% per day, and you will see 37% better results compared to last time. That's the secret, my dear friend. Number 10, sandwich mock test in between lectures. Okay, now there is no rocket science in this, but most of us don't do it. We do not practice enough questions, exam related questions in between 2 lectures. Okay, so suppose your teacher taught you Michaelis-Menten equation today, or say yesterday. So yesterday, Michaelis-Menten equation was taught to you. Now you must practice as many questions as possible about it today before you enter into the next class by the teacher. Now to achieve this kind of punctuality, you have to sit to study like an eagle, focusing on your daily plan. Treat your daily study habit like a religious ritual and avoid as many surprise events as possible from your schedule. Don't be a victim of circumstance, be a champion of circumstance, be a student of circumstance. Now, I have 100 plus pointers in my mind as I speak, but I feel these 10 pointers are more than enough to do the magic. But before the magic happens, the magician must know the rules of magic. Now, who is the magician? It is you. You have to do the magic. So here are a few rules if you want to magically qualify CSIR NET exam. Number 1 rule is you have to put in more effort. Whenever you pick a book, you have to put in more effort than the author of the book, which you pick to read. Rule number 2, you have to be always eager to learn. Number 3, stop listening to gossip on Facebook, WhatsApp, and other internet websites. Maybe YouTube also. Number 4, you have to be willing to pay the price to hire a mentor or a coaching company, which can pay attention to your preparation in a personalized manner. Number 5, you have to watch this video 3 times every year if you wish to create that magic for your own self. These were some valuable lessons which I've learned in past 15 years of Biotecnika. So there you have it. Yes, an average student, or rather I should say a knowledge seeker student, just like you and me, can qualify CSIR NET exam. Yes, definitely. But you have to take these 10 steps, as I mentioned in this video, and follow the 5 magical rules. And then only success will be at your fingertips. Okay? All the best and have a bright career, bright life ahead. Cheers.